Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video, here to highlight some awesome Steam game deals that are even better than the deals that Steam are offering directly for their winter sale. May I point you towards the Green Man Gaming Holiday Sale, which they're a great spot to buy all of your games from, and on top of that, you get Steam codes on all of the titles that you buy. The only caveat is that you don't get a opportunity to refund the game. So when you buy from a third-party e-tailer, you do redeem the code directly on Steam. Obviously, since the code is already redeemed, you can't get a refund if you buy directly from Steam. You have a 2-hour window of playtime to get a refund, but GMG offers you some great deals at great prices, and all of these deals that we're going to mention are under the price of $5. It might be a retread to a lot of you guys on the games that are available, but as always, there's newer audiences watching this video and these videos during these sales, so I thought it'd be a good time to highlight one of our good friends over there. So let's get right into it, and let's highlight a deal that I'm sure some of you guys are absolutely sick of hearing, but somebody new is gonna pick this game up, and that is Sleeping Dogs, the Definitive Edition. It is down to $2.46. You get Sleeping Dogs and you get all of the DLC content. It is an absolutely fantastic open world action title, and back when it came out, it saw a lot of comparisons to Grand Theft Auto. I guess any open world game with a bit of a crime focus is going to have its comparisons to GTA, but it's a lot different than GTA. It's got more of an emphasis on the hand-to-hand combat. The open world is a bit more on the contained side, and it does a great job in telling a cohesive narrative that is a little bit more mature and gritty, I felt, and overall the game is great. You get the DLC here as well, so $2.46 on that is fantastic. Next up, we do have Dishonored 2, which is 91% off for $2.55. Look, when Dishonored 2 is available for this price point, you just shut up and buy the game. This is such a fantastic deal for Dishonored 2, which I know some people did not like Dishonored 2 as much as Dishonored 1. Look, Dishonored 1 is an all-time classic, so if Dishonored 2 isn't as good as an all-time classic, it's still a pretty darn good game, and I would highly recommend you to play Dishonored 1 first, because Dishonored 2 is a sequel, and it has the same characters and everything like that, but the game is fantastic, and I would highly recommend it for $2.55. Like, man, this is a bargain, an excellent action stealth title, and it is such a bummer that, dude, the games Arcane are working on now, Deathloop into another Marvel game, like, look, I like the Marvel games and whatnot, but, man, I would just like them to go back to Dishonored. They had such a great franchise in Dishonored, and just to pivot away from that I thought was so disappointing, but hopefully in my lifetime we do get a Dishonored 3. I would definitely be stoked for that. Next up, we have Doom 2016, 83% off for $3.40, an excellent action FPS. I know that a lot of people prefer Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, for that matter, over Doom the Dark Ages, but I like Dark Ages as well. The thing is, for me, Doom isn't necessarily a franchise of games, and people might find this a bit controversial, that I would recommend everybody to run out and spend $60, $70 on those games. I wouldn't recommend that for Dark Ages, which now it's on sale for south of $30, but you know, getting the games at a cheaper price point, I feel like Doom is always an enjoyable time, but maybe not a game that's absolutely blow away in the sense of wanting to spend $60, $70 on it. In the case of Doom 2016, it's down to $3 and change here, and I do think this is quite a good pickup, and I would definitely recommend it at this price point. And again, a lot of mayhem, a lot of carnage, and with Doom, you're gonna have a good time. $3.40 on that. Next up, we have Castlevania Lords of Shadow, the Ultimate Edition. I played Lords of Shadow when it initially came out on the PlayStation 3, and I liked the game a lot back then. A little bit different of a Castlevania game, very much a third-person action title. Has some puzzles, and I will say that ambiance and the atmosphere of Castlevania, a lot of the thematics, that is obviously still there with Castlevania Lords of Shadow. I thought it was a really solid game. Is it absolutely blow away? No, but a solid action game, and if you like that darker aesthetic that Castlevania has brought forward, I think you'll like Lords of Shadows quite a lot as well. You got the DLC here as well with the Ultimate Edition. Next up, we have Final Fantasy VII, the original, 67% off for $3.94. Look, I love Final Fantasy VII. It's one of my favorite games of all time. I love the remake trilogy as well, which I know the remake trilogy people have issues with, at least the first two games. The third game's still coming out, but it's a trilogy. The original game and the remake trilogy, they can stand side by side. They can be their own existing experience, and I think Final Fantasy VII is still a worthwhile game to go back and play. What I would recommend you is to buy the game and then also download the Echo S mod. You'll get improved visuals, you'll get full voice acting as well, and I know the idea of adding fan-done voice acting to a game might sound a little bit crazy, but the fan-done voice acting is so good that going through this game with the Echo S mod was just a joy. And obviously, I love Final Fantasy VII, but it offered a new way to experience an original and the classic, and I had a great time with that. $394 is an excellent pickup, would strongly recommend that. Next up, we got Mega Man 11, 87% off for $383. As you guys might know, I am partial towards Mega Man X. That is the franchise that I grew up with, and I loved Mega Man X. X4 was one of the very first games that I ever played, and, you know, the older Mega Man games, I did go back and play them. I remember playing Mega Man 7 back in the day as well, and Mega Man 8, and having a good time with those games, but, you know, not as partial towards the original Mega Man titles, but I still enjoy old school Mega Man, and Mega Man 11 was a solid title, bringing it forth to a more modern audience in 2018 as well, and now we know Dual Override is going to come out in 2027. Still kind of crazy for me now that I'm saying games coming out in 2027, like, man, these years are just going by so fast, but nonetheless, hopefully with Mega Man, it won't be a 9-year turnaround again for a new game. You know, I love the collections, loved all of those. The ZX Legacy Collection, the Battle Network Legacy Collection, Star Force Legacy Collection is coming out, and the collections were good. You've exhausted the majority of collections you can do. You can do Mega Man Legends, and people will get hyped on that, but at this point, we need new Mega Man titles, and thankfully, we'll be getting one in 2027. Next up, we have Tales of Zestiria, 91% off for $4.60. Tales of Zestiria is without a doubt one of the weaker Tales of titles. I was about to say weakest, but then there are games like Symphonia Dawn of the New World that, you know, are definitely at that bottom end of Tales of titles. But you know what? As I've mentioned before, Tales of is such a consistent franchise in terms of its quality output that Zestria is still a pretty solid game, man. I know that people had their issues and their contention with some of the narrative elements and how they handled some of the characters. I still thought Zestria was a solid game, all things considered. You know, it had a great opening song, I will say that. The opening track to Zestria is a banger, but yeah, it's still a Tales of game, and it's still enjoyable, I thought, for $4.60. I mean, it's a fine pickup, so check that out. Shadow of the Tomb Raider is down to $3.52. I know a lot of you guys probably already have Tomb Raider 2013 and Rise of the Tomb Raider, because those two games have been cheap so many times. Shadow of the Tomb Raider now getting to this sub $4 threshold, I think it's gonna make a lot of people check this out as well. SOTR also had the lame release structure where Square Enix outlined the whole DLC release plan, like the 7-month DLC release plan for this game before it came out. It's just like, alright dude, come on, relax there buddy. But Shadow of the Tomb Raider was a really solid game, even if narratively it wasn't at the level of the other two games. I still thought from a gameplay standpoint it's fantastic, and you know me, I love the Tomb Raider Survivor trilogy. I'm gonna be a little bit upset as we move on from this, Laura. I guess now it's the unified Tomb Raider experience and they're combining it all together, and I dig the design of Lara going into these new games, but you know, the Survivor trilogy is literally where it's at for me, so love these games. $3.52 for that is fantastic. Shadow Tactics Blades of the Shogun, $3.60. I talk up this game all the time, and it's a solid tactics title in an Edo, Japan setting that I think is done pretty darn well. You could play at the easier difficulty if you just want to take in the setting and enjoy it from that standpoint, but overall a really enjoyable tactics game. And Mimimi Games, again, they're known for doing some great tactics titles, and Shadow Tactics Blades of the Shogun was a pretty solid one. Just Cause 2 and Just Cause 3. Just Cause 2 is a $1.23 and Just Cause 3 is $2.46. I always mention Just Cause 3, so I thought, you know what, let's mention Just Cause 2 as well for $1.23. Just Cause 2 is definitely the more dated open world action experience, but still, it has that level of chaos and the over-the-top action fun that Just Cause 3 is so known for, and it's still a fun time all in all. Just Cause 3 definitely has a little bit more mayhem. It came out 5 years after, so, you know, from a technical standpoint, a bit better to say the least, but it was an atrocity of a PC release, but man, now it's pretty good. I'm playing the game at high frame rate and just doing crazy stuff in the open world. It's a lot of fun, and I would recommend it at $2.46. And then lastly, Murdered Soul Suspect is $1.64. Whenever I see Murdered Soul Suspect this cheap, it's so funny because I ended up spending $50 on this game the day it came out. I don't know what I think I even pre-ordered the game. I don't know what I was on that made me be like, yeah, dude, I need to get Murdered Soul Suspect on launch. This is it. Especially because back then, you're talking about a 17-year-old me with, you know, I had to be a little bit more selective, to say the least, about what games I bought, but, You know, I liked Murdered Soul Suspect. I thought it had a really cool setting, and if you're into investigative, narrative-driven titles, you'll enjoy it. The supernatural aspects, I remember enjoying as well. Not a super lengthy game, but for $1.64, pretty solid pickup there as well. But that is gonna do it for me. Links to all of these deals to GMG in the description box below. Check them out for yourself, and if you do pick up anything, I get an affiliate kickback, which is much appreciated. They've got a lot of other great deals available right now as well, so check all of those out. That'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate it if you guys hit that button, so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.